What's good everybody? This video I will be showcasing you a rogue duelist build centered around doing maximum damage on your charge heavy attacks. So first off, let's jump into equipment. We have the cutthroat sword. You can complete this legendary variant just after the Siege of Vice out. Then we have the storm needle. This is gonna be obtained a little bit later, the legendary version, so early on you might want to settle with the Bloodletter's twin blade or another weapon of your own choice. But at least this weapon is obtainable after you have the uninvited guests in Arlington Forest. And then you have the Dragon's Warbow. This requires you, if you want to finish the full upgrade, which is where you get the juicy passive, this requires you to finish either Nev's or Harding's questline. And if you choose to save Treviso, you have to level the faction vendor pretty high, so you can get the blue version pretty early on. Then we have the Crown of Leaves. This is obtainable to the legendary version after uninvited guests. Garb of Kinship, obtainable after the Siege of Vice. Then we have Warden Straps. This can be completed the second time you return to Horsberg Wetlands when you have the belt vendor. And then you have Biting Thumb, can be completed just after you have chosen which city to save and you fought off the dragons. Then you can visit the Wisp Merchant and it will be the final version there. More of the Black City. You can actually get this very early on, even before recruiting Davran. Harlot's Grace. You get this during the final version, you get this during the Blood of Arlatan quest. Then you have Overflow, a rune that we get through Emmeric's recruitment from killing a military captain. Then we have Ravage. You get this from just before you jump down to attack the Comic Master. And then the Scorch rune, you get this during your recruitment of Tash. I think it's time to discuss our skills now. So as you can see, my skills are definitely all over the place, and this is the final level 50 variant of the build. Now early on you're not gonna be able to do this much spreading as I have done in this scenario here. Basically, to summarize why the level 50 split is so like scattered around is because I want to make sure I get all of these weapon traits apart from evasive maneuvers, which basically when you use this as a rogue and you dodge into a charged attack, it will always do an agile attack first, and that can be very annoying because some enemies can block that. So I prefer not to have this when I play an attack based rogue. But yeah, early on you want to make your way towards the duelist tree, but before you do so you want to be also getting this precision shot upgrade. So you want to be going for Toxic Dash first of all, and then you want to get precision shot after this. So early on I would just go like try and take Pilfer and then go all the way here to get Toxic Dash, and you could start off with medium armor mastery or get electric armorer and then go like this way or the other way if you want to get some jump attacks in or guarantee yourself to do critical hits when enemies are low. But yeah, the final skill tree is right here for you. For our abilities, we use Toxic Dash, we use Explosive Trap, and we use Lightning Flask. Throughout the game I've changed this quite a lot. This is just the end game variant. For my early game I actually set it up with Pilfer instead of Explosive Trap, and then I had Static Strikes instead of the Lightning Flask. Let's talk about companions. Now for this build I specifically have Davran here marked as an S+ companion for it. Specifically because of some of his early game utility. Now the thing about Davran is that he can actually not give you any resource, which is kind of what makes it hard to play around him, because you want to be getting either momentum, rage or mana from your companions to make an optimized build, and in this scenario Davran can do nothing of those. But what he can do instead is actually give you something that's very valuable when you are an attack-based character, and that is necrotic weapons, and he can give you that on Rally Party. Now for Rogue specifically, you have access to Weakened, which synergizes with his Death from Above ability that can grant you Rally Party. So we can use Darwin here to give us both Rally Party, but also to give us necrotic weapons, and that is just very solid. Also in the early game, he has access. You have access to the Winged Cape. You basically get this as soon as you get to Horsburg Wetlands. Then you can buy it from one of the vendors there to apply burning on detonations, which is a useful affliction to apply against darkspawn mobs. So you do some extra damage against them, and they can be pretty tough to take down, especially as a melee-based champion or a character. In the late game, which is going to be the second ability, you're going to be basically transitioning this into this as soon as you complete the Crown of Leaves. He gives you ultimate charge on this Involve Victory ability, which you can use pretty much on and off cooldown to make sure you always have your ultimate accessible. And then you have also the duration of this, which is extremely long. I would say, like, especially when you pair it with some of the advantage duration perks that you can get throughout the skill tree here. Then you can basically have infinite uptime of invulnerability and immovable, not together but in between, because we get immovable when the effect ends, and then it lasts until we can use this again, and that's just really valuable to have immovable, because it kind of like it makes it so we cannot stack up very easily. Of course, some mobs are exceptions. If they have like heavy charge attacks, then you have to consider that. But yeah, that is our main companion for this build here. Second companion that I do prefer to play with is Lucanis, and Lucanis here for Adrenaline Rush. It's a fast, low cooldown ability that he also himself can activate that gives us momentum and deflect. Just very valuable to be able to take a free hit without taking damage. As a rogue, you are exceptionally vulnerable to damage, especially early on, so this can be really, really valuable and help you through many boss encounters, especially if you, like me, like to take on bosses when you are low level. Then this is just gonna be a very good combination of companions here. Alright, I think that wraps it up for companions, and yeah, I hope if you did enjoy the build, you can consider liking and subscribing, because there are sure to come more. Anyways, I hope you have a good day wherever you are. Bye bye.